Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you close to early evening for a Olivia O'Brien album review, and someone requested me to do Olivia O'Brien reviews. So I'm actually gonna be doing Olivia O'Brien's, I guess, full EPs and one album review, and this is the album review I'm doing for her 2019 album, Was It Even Real? That I just got done listening to for this Olivia O'Brien album that I just finished listening to for 10 songs. So it wasn't very long of an album. It was like 32 and a half minutes. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for this album and let you know my thoughts on it. So let's dive into this album review. Now it starts with the song Purple World, and I just felt like it was decent. It wasn't my favorite song, in my opinion, but it was something interesting. Like, the ideas were for the song and the way Olivia was singing the song. Olivia O'Brien was singing the song. O'Brien, I meant to say. Um, she didn't sound bad in this song, but it's just the way it's executing with the production. That was where the song melody and the song choices for the melody made it seem kind of cluttery to get through, in my opinion. But still, the song performed decently, so 4 out of 5. But that's just my opinion. I Don't Exist was pretty decent. It's just the way Olivia O'Brien is singing some verses and some of the chorus. It just kind of gets a little iffy to like, but it's an acquired taste, I guess, for some listeners if you're into this pop music that she does, because she is a pop artist, of course. But yeah, I Don't Exist was a decent song in my opinion, so I'll give it a 4 out of 5. I think the first two songs are kind of a little underwhelming, but it starts getting better and picks up a little more through the next few songs. Inhibition, On My Way, parentheses On My Way, was actually not a bad song. I didn't hate her vocals in this song. She sounded like she was back on track with what she was going for with this song. It seemed like the first two songs were a bit boring in my opinion, but they were decent, but they still felt cluttery, meaning clustered. Kind of a little mess, but not a complete mess. But still, Inhibition On My Way was not a bad song, so 4.5 out of 5 for this one. Just Friends was actually pretty nice. I like the melody behind it, and just the way Olivia O'Brien is singing the song. Sounds pretty nice, so 4.5 out of 5. We Lied to Each Other was not a bad song either. I don't know if I could feel for every part section of one verse in what she's singing, but it still wasn't a bad song. Her vocals sounded a lot stronger than the first two tracks, because the first two tracks she just felt lazy and didn't know how the vocal pitch was sounding on her end. But in my opinion, I think We Lied to Each Other was a pretty solid song, so 4.5 out of 5. You Don't Know was actually not too bad. Didn't hate that song, so 4.5 out of 5. I don't think I got much to explain about with that track. It's one of those solid tracks, I guess you could say. Care Less More, um, it's decent. It's just a radio-friendly kind of pop song, I guess you could say. Um, it's the lyrics choices are solid, but it's just the execution for the melody. Don't know if I feel for, but 4 out of 5. Just a Boy was sort of cringy, but in a decent way. She doesn't sound bad in this track in certain pitches she uses, Olivia O'Brien doesn't sound so bad in it, but it's just the way it's executing the song and the melody and the way she's singing it. At times, she can have a weird pitch when it comes to singing these songs. So 4 out of 5 for Just a Boy. Call Me with three exclamation marks. That was actually pretty solid. I kind of liked it, and her vocals started to get back on track. And finally, Love Myself. I think that song gets pretty repetitive, but in a good way, I guess you could say. It's solid to end the album, but does it really execute to give it a strong rating? Maybe. Um, it just it's just the way that it gets repetitive where she's singing I need to love myself, and it goes on quite a while. Uh, so yeah, that can be a little annoying, but hey, I think it works for what it's going for, in my personal opinion. So 4.5 out of 5 for Love Myself. It's not a bad way to end the album. Overall, production, mixing, and execution. I think Olivia O'Brien's Was It Even Real album was good. I was not really that disappointed with this album. I wouldn't say it's my favorite album, but it's a good album for what it is. So, for a score for me, I'm giving Olivia O'Brien's Was It Even Real album an 8 out of 10. This was a good listen, in my opinion. Definitely check this out if you're interested in pop music. If it's not the genre for you, then you'd have to find something else to listen to. Um, but still, I think the beginning sounded of this album, the first two songs, sounded a bit lazy with her vocals, but then she started picking it up a little bit more towards the tracks 3 to 6, and then it goes back to just lazy production and goes back to just some lazy production with her vocals and the way she's singing it and somewhat of the melodies choices. But then the last two tracks end it pretty swiftly. So, yeah, 8 out of 10 for me on Olivia O'Brien's Was It Even Real album. Comment below. Let me know what you guys thought of the Olivia O'Brien album. Was it even real if you've heard it? And if you enjoyed this album review I made for you guys, late, kind of going into early afternoon, I guess you could say, comment below, early evening, I meant to say. Comment below and let me know your thoughts on it. Tap like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you can to support the channel. I will be returning to you for another Olivia O'Brien EP. It's actually going to be her first EP that she released in 2017. I'm going to check that out tomorrow, of course, and then continue on with it until the 15th. And I'm going to re-review the episode season 1 that she did. I know she's going to have another episode season 2, I guess. It's for the second part for it. I don't know when that's coming out, but we've waited almost a year for it. So I think she's going to be dropping it in due time, but we'll just wait and see. I hope you enjoyed this album review for Olivia O'Brien, Was It Even Real? I did the best I could to make it as good as possible. In my opinion, it's a good listen. It just has some cluttery moments, and some production is a little bit lazy at times, but in a way, I think it's good for what it is. So, yeah. Stay safe, guys. Take care. And as always, I'll see you in my next review.